You do not need to be born into luxury to sell it. I started with 0 listings as a luxury, but today it is the main focus of my business. Hi, this is Amanda Aguiar, your local realtor here in the Kirkland and Seattle area. And I am going to be breaking down in this video exactly how I started into the luxury industry in real estate here where I live as a brand new agent. So I want to start off with something that I think is very critical. Sure, okay, you have the idea. I want to be into the luxury market wherever you're located. But the first shifting needs to happen, it is in your mindset. It is something that you need to be preparing yourself to walk into those shoes, to walk in those places, and to build your confidence wherever you go. So that if you don't see yourself as a luxury agent, and especially being new, who will? So that building up of your mindset, what are you reading? What are you listening to? Who are the people around you that it's supporting your vision and the things that you want to do? And then also, where are you placing yourself to be recognized as a luxury leader in your industry? You need to remember the luxury service is just a treatment. It's not just about a price point. And I think this is where real estate agents sometimes get it wrong, especially in the beginning. If you already create that mindset of working with your clients, it doesn't matter the price point, but as a luxury, you will just continue to get better when you actually do get the luxury listing or that luxury client that is, I don't know what in your market, but luxury in here, it's starting obviously at that $1 million, price point. So I think, again, there was something that I think aligned a little bit with my personality, what I wanted. I already lived in a town here in the Washington state in Kirkland that home prices are on the higher end. But also, obviously, there was already a lot of agents in here with a lot of experience that their names was already, screaming, I am the luxury agent. So I had to already, build myself up that I knew there was a competition. But I have to say, I don't necessarily spend too much energy focusing who's my competition. I was just focusing more in how do I want to build my brand? How do I want to build myself when I am in places so people that meet me will feel confident that I actually can help them also on that luxury purchase or that luxury listing. What I have to say in here, you need to stop thinking and you need to just do it because, feeling ready, have everything, figure it out. It's not going to help you to get into luxury, especially in the very beginning. So step into that luxury energy and let's do this. So let's talk about another area that is very important. How are you positioning yourself? And some of the areas that I think is very critical is going to be your networking, your marketing, and I couldn't leave it, obviously, social media. So let's start with networking. If you want to be, in places where people actually financially can afford, buying or maybe they actually have properties at that price of 1 million or above, you need to know where do they go? Where are the coffee shops that they go to? What are the gyms that they, work out at? Where do they get their nails done for the ladies and hair? So again, where are those experiences that people that are a little bit, with a different, income level will be at, and then obviously networking on those places. And honestly, a lot of the times I would go to events, finding out where events are happening, getting connected with also local businesses that were catering to luxury as well. So that, if I'm going to their events, it means I am going to be meeting their clients and customers who could potentially also be my customers. So the networking goes in both directions. It's not only about meeting the right client, but also networking with businesses that cater to the clientele and actually being, a blessing to them. What can you do? Can you do a little video, about their business and put it on your social media? Can you elevate another business that is also going to help you when the time comes? If someone mentions, they will think about you because you'll be blessing their business. So one of the things about networking that, I started doing. It's been almost 2 years now. I host a ladies happy hour once a month. In the beginning, the idea of it was actually to connect with my fellow ladies that I was working a lot and I didn't had a lot of time to my social activities as much as I used to. So I had to figure it out, like, how do I stay connected? Again, if something's not happening yet, don't keep waiting, start doing it. So I started doing my happy hours. I was selecting restaurants either that I knew the owner or places that I wanted to be known. So start building that relationship with management and letting them know, hey, I want to bring business to you, and sharing what I was doing. And all the time they would say, yes, how can we work together, how we can partner up. And sometimes they would even take to the next level and bless the girls that were on my happy hour with providing discount for a happy hour, even if it was past their happy hour, window time, or even, providing other things, bringing to the table just out of the restaurant's, pocket. So those things just kind of became, a new thing. And then every month, when I don't have that meeting scheduled yet, I am asked, when is the next happy hour? Where are we going to go? Obviously, not everybody comes to every single happy hour, and it is very open and inclusive. And I ask them, hey, you can invite other friends to join as well, which is another way for me to meet new faces. And again, it's like a double-edged sword in the sense I am, connecting with new people because my friends are bringing friends, and from there I am also getting clients, and then as well I am blessing a business and building a relationship with different restaurants in this case. Now let's talk about marketing. I have to say that even though I was new to real estate, but I understood the power of marketing. Coming with, from a tech background, I know the power of marketing. Even though it's not my background, I was more on the project management side of things, not necessarily marketing, but I knew how important that was. And especially, again, being brand new, I knew I needed to set myself up compared to other agents. I already had a lot of agents that were within my circle, but I have to say, a lot of them were not even doing like 10% of what I did when I got started, and that made a difference. So talking about branding, and don't think like, oh, I'm new, I haven't closed a deal yet, I don't have funds, which I get it totally. But you can go to resources like Fiverr.com was one that I used a lot in the beginning. And I paid at the time, I think $250 for someone to put together a branding material for me. And that included, they created a logo for me. I kind of shared some of the, I wanted that luxury vibe and look. And so I kind of provided some of the colors that I wanted to stay in, provided some example of other realtors that I like what they were doing. And they created my for sale sign, my open house sign, my business card, and a few other, items like visual items for me for $250. From there, I have transformed my brand year after year. I like to do like a revamp, what's the next level. So it doesn't look, that I'm settling, like obviously there's new things that you learn and grow. And I want to improve those things in my business. So definitely encourage marketing your presentation. You will set you apart from another agent. I never had anybody ask me, how long you been in real estate? How many homes did you sell? I walked in with my group's metrics. If anybody asked anything, those items that's when I would answer and talk about. Our group has over 15 years of experience, even though I was like maybe month one. Our group closed this many deals. This is how many volumes we have. We are a luxury team. So I was using the beginning, the momentum of other agents in my group because I was part of it. And, so that if I needed to showcase those details from any clients, but most of it, again, my presentation, my branding, how I show up. How you show up is everything. The moment that someone either speaks to you on the phone or open that door or meet you on that coffee shop, they are, reviewing you. They are judging you. So how you present yourself. So I think from, how you dress, how you talk, Obviously, I'm not saying don't be yourself and go copy somewhere else, because I said you will fail, and they will be able to see it that that is not you. So I definitely recommend it. Still be authentic, still be who you are, but start building that brand from the beginning. So I highly encourage. And maybe you don't have the funds. Canva today, it's amazing. You can do so much in there for very little that it costs every month. I don't know, $12, $13 or something like that. And you can create it. Maybe you have a creative side in you and you can start doing things on your own from the beginning. And Canva already have so many templates that you can take it from there. But I'll say, as much as you can be consistent, even with your color scheme. So it's not like today you're like putting everything red, the next day is everything yellow and it's blue. It just doesn't. I have to say, like, when I see a page like that, to me, feels like it's someone that is not serious about their social. It's someone that is not serious really about their brand. They just posting things to post. So be intentional. So kind of segueing away to, the third thing about, preparing and presenting yourself, it is social media. I don't think you can be in the luxury and hide from it. Like, people today are looking for you. They do want the accolades. They do want to see what you're up to and what you're doing. Thankfully, I do get a lot of clients from social media. So for me, it's very critical how often I post and the content I post. But for me, I need to look at my page. It needs to flow. And sometimes even like, collabs, now that, Instagram allows you to do that. If it doesn't match with my brand, I'll be like, hey, I'm happy to share my stories because I love supporting other business. But if it doesn't align with my brand, it's not going to be on my feed because it's going to stay there unless I think that connection, it will really be beneficial for both of us. But if it's something also that it's not aligned with my vision of what I want people to see on my page, it does not get posted. I always say, and it goes both ways, right? Because sometimes I will go to restaurants and I'll do videos, about my tour in the restaurant, my experience, and I will do a collab with them. Sometimes they accept it and sometimes they don't. So you never know, which way will go, but at least I try just in case it works out, right? So talking about social media, I feel like it's really your resume, even beyond what we say in LinkedIn, right? It's just like you showing who you are, you're showing luxury homes. Like in the beginning, I didn't have luxury listings, but from, I was not afraid to pick up the phone and call the agents that actually did have the luxury listings and ask, can I do a tour? Can I do a video? Can I do an open house? And whenever they say yes to any of those, I will take full advantage to post on my feed if it was an open house. And then when I went to the house, to do videos about the house, to show a lot of concept, to do as much content as possible about that lifestyle, about that home. So a lot of times people will see a bunch of posts of luxury properties in my page, and even they are not paying attention and reading my captions, it was not my listing, because I do give credit to, where credit's due, to the listing agent, but they were never asking anything like that. So you just never know. The whole point is just in the beginning, you're still building your brand, you're building, perception. So what you post, what people are seeing, they're going to associate you with. So again, social media is powerful, but I do say, be careful how you post and what you post, because if you want, I guess, go for it to be associated with it or not. I personally, my big no-nos about, social media for me is like, I don't like to go politician. I don't like to go religions, even though I have my, it's not that I don't have an opinion, but that's not the place, because I will work with any client that have the same opinion as me or not. My goal is to ensure that they have the most amazing experience, and it does not matter their background, their status, if they're right or left, if they believe in this or that, I act with respect. Obviously, I expect that back from my clients as well, because I don't think any money is worth if someone is being disrespected to you. So, things that you should be looking into, even in the beginning, it's vetting your clients as well in case they are not being respectful to you. I don't know if it's worth it at any penny for you to work with them, but that's a decision for you to make. And, just kind of even talking about it, kind of getting that first luxury, opportunity. It is intimidating. I'm not going to lie, even though I like luxury and, I try to my experience to show some of that, but even like getting that first client, was still the little butterfly in your stomach of like excitement and fear. Am I going to mess it up and things like that? And, again, be humble, and hopefully you have a good coach and a good team lead, that maybe it's helping you through the way. I had great support around me that was, help me, guide me through that. But some of those tactics I knew myself. But again, that's why I said early on, your mindset is going to be the most critical thing, because when the opportunity comes, you will feel ready, right? If you're just kind of trying to make it happen and you're not working on your internal side, you're going to mess it up in front of them. And it's also okay sometimes, if it does happen, to be humble enough to just say like, hey, I'm learning. There's just few new steps here and there. And if they want to work with you, they'll be, accepting of your learning and, growth in the middle of the process. Now, when I, kind of taking a look a little bit back, like, what would I have done differently with what I know today into, being into breaking into luxury and trying to do that? I think one of the things obviously worked out for me in the fact that I already lived in an area, in the surrounding, towns around me, I already have a lot of luxury properties. But maybe it's not your case. Maybe you want to be in luxury, but maybe today where you live, the properties around you, it's not luxury. So be an expert in that neighborhood or in that town that you want to be a luxury agent. So you're gonna have to do a little bit of a, extra step in there. Probably be there more often, understand the town, maybe become part of the chamber of that town, and so that you learn more what's happening there. So you have more information and you can become an expert of that town. It did take me actually 3.5 years before I actually decided to join the official luxury division here at EXP. And it was not because I was now already selling $1 million homes, because I to that point I was actually feeling pretty confident that I didn't need the logo, EXP luxury, for me to sell luxury. But I just felt like this was the next step, the next level for me in my business, for some of the things that they offer. So you can definitely already walk on the shoes of being a luxury agent, even without doing all these other expensive things. So if I can do it, you can do it too. I am confident that just taking some right steps, you'll get there. And if you want to, my partnership and my coaching and learning more how to break into luxury here at EXP, or just into your business, book a call with me. I would love to just kind of understand your business. I always have ideas and, in how you can do that in your local market. So don't be a stranger, make sure to do that. And I'm just excited that you stayed here until the end and watched this video. I hope it was informative and you can take some actions right now to get into luxury. So make sure to subscribe and like this video. Reach out to me if I can be of help, and I'll see you next week.